He wanted all his stuff back, so I made sure he got everything. My ex Neil was the kind of guy who seemed fine at first, but then slowly you'd realize he wasn't. Like, he'd get weird about little things. If I didn't text back within an hour, he'd send 3 more messages asking where I was. If I wanted to hang out with my friends without him, he'd sulk for days. The real problem was alcohol, though. When he drank, he'd pick fights out of nowhere. One time he shoved me during an argument about literally nothing, and the next morning acted like I was overreacting when I brought it up. After he punched a hole in my bedroom door during one of his drunk episodes, I finally told him we were done. But then he showed up at my work crying, saying his dad was an alcoholic and he didn't want to end up like that and he'd do anything to change. I'm not proud of it, but I believed him and we got back together. The deal was simple though, no more drinking. He said he'd quit completely. I told him I'd quit too, even though I barely drank anyway because I wanted him to know I was serious about supporting him. For 8 months, things were better. He still had his moody days, but at least he wasn't scary anymore. Then one Tuesday I came home early from my shift and found Neil sitting on our bed with my phone in his hands. He'd gone through my bag and somehow guessed my passcode. When I asked what he was doing, he just started yelling about how my coworker Travis texted me, "You're the best," with a thumbs up, and what was that supposed to mean? I tried to explain it was about covering someone's shift, but he wouldn't listen. He kept saying I was hiding something. That's when it clicked that this wasn't going to get better. He was always going to find something to be suspicious about. I told him to leave. He said no. I reminded him my name was on the lease, and his wasn't. He called me a word I'm not going to repeat and grabbed his keys and left. An hour later, his mom called. She apologized for Neil and asked if she could pick up his things tomorrow. Then I heard Neil in the background. He was loud enough that I could hear him clearly. He said, "Tell her I want everything back. Everything I paid for. Even the stuff I gave her. I want all of it." I told her I'd have it bagged up and ready. I started packing that night because I wanted him out of my life as fast as possible. I went through the living room first and got his PS5 controllers and games. Then the bathroom. When I got to the bedroom, I started pulling his clothes out of the dresser. That's when I found the first bottle. Vodka, half empty, wrapped up in one of his hoodies at the back of his drawer. My stomach dropped. I checked the closet and found 2 bottles tucked into boots he never wore. I pulled out the guitar case he kept saying he was going to start playing again and opened it. 4 beer cans. I checked under the bed and found 3 more bottles pushed way back against the wall. I started tearing through everything. His backpack had a flask in the front pocket. His winter coat had those little airplane bottles in the inside pocket. By the end, I'd found 16 bottles and cans total. Some empty, some half full, 2 still sealed. He'd been drinking the entire time. Every single day for 8 months while I turned down drinks everywhere because I was trying to support him. I sat on the floor staring at all those bottles. Then I remembered what he said. He wanted everything back. Everything that was his. These were definitely his. I put all the bottles and cans in their own garbage bag and tied it up. Didn't hide them or anything. Just put the bag with the other 2 by the door. His mom showed up the next afternoon looking exhausted. I helped her carry the bags to her Camry. 2 went in the trunk. The 3rd one with the bottles I put in the back seat. It clinked, but she didn't ask. She just thanked me and drove away. 30 minutes later, Neil called me screaming. He was calling me every name possible, saying I was psychotic for putting all that in his stuff. I said, "You told your mom you wanted everything of yours back and those weren't mine, so yeah, you got everything." I hung up and blocked him. 2 hours later, someone started banging on my door. It was Neil. He was yelling that I had no right to embarrass him in front of his family like that. I yelled through the door that if he didn't leave, I was calling the cops. He kicked the door. I heard his mom's voice telling him to get back in the car. He kicked it again, and I grabbed my phone and dialed 911. His mom must have dragged him away because I heard footsteps going down the stairs and then a car door slam. The operator answered and I told them someone was trying to break down my door, but they'd just left. They sent an officer anyway who took a report and told me to file for a restraining order if he came back.